welcome back. Now we're joined by Tiger Palafox, and he has brought a friend with him today, Richard Liu. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Eco Revolution, of course.
Of course, of course. Well, Richard's a wonderful guest, a friend of ours that we've had, and he's written a few books. But it's really cool. The process behind his inspiration is children, and the environment. So one of the things that they like to do is definitely incorporating into the landscape design is creating plant material, creating environments that are going to lean more towards wildlife, birds, hummingbirds, ladybugs, bees, and all of that. And he's here for the National Landscape Architects Convention here in San Diego, and you're going to be speaking at that. Tell us a little bit about the book that you wrote recently and what it has to do with why these landscape architects have to inspire children for the future.
Well, the nature principle follows another book called Last Child in the Woods. Both books are about what I call nature deficit disorder, which is the implications of our, not only for kids but for adults too, that we're in a society that in many ways disconnects us from nature but also disconnects us from ourselves. And nature can be a real antidote to that. One of the basic ideas in the book is that the more high-tech our lives become, the more nature we need.
Okay, I know you're speaking today. I mean, we want to really reiterate how important it is to have parents involved, too. What's parents' responsibility to teach kids about nature at an early age?
Well, a lot of parents don't know.
Right.
We have really the first generation of young parents that didn't spend much time in nature at all. Some of them did, but most of them did not. They need to know how important that is, not only for their kids, but for themselves, for their health. That studies have shown that the symptoms of attention deficit disorder, for instance, get much better with just a little bit of contact with nature.
Now, what are some areas around the county, because you live here in San Diego, that you would say lean towards this movement, where it's actually about bringing kids outside and enjoying the plants, enjoying the areas around them, and being one with nature rather than kind of taking advantage of it?
Well, a lot of people who live in San Diego don't know how special this area is. They know about the zoo, they know about the beach, but our county has more endangered, in fact, more species than any other county in the United States. Wow. It's a very special place, so there's a lot here. Mission Trails Park, Balboa Park, etc. But increasingly, I'm interested in the kind of work that you do in people's yards, that we really need to transform our homes, our yards, and that's much what the book is about, is what I call the nature principle, how to apply that. For instance, our backyards and front yards. My wife and I have gotten interested in native plants, and so we've started planting those. I'm actually not that much into gardening myself, but the idea of creating essentially a wildlife corridor through my backyard, there's an idea that I promote from Doug Ptolemy that is, what if we created a homegrown national park? What if lots of yards had native plants that brought back insects, brought back butterfly migration routes, bird migration routes? What if those yards connected to other yards and other yards and other yards? What if we essentially created a homegrown national park?
And it's funny because you mentioned that, but people vacation all the time. Millions of people go to national parks and state parks and county parks to enjoy all of our beauty in our county, but yet in their own home, they never embrace it, and that's one of the things you're talking about, is actually trying to go with the nature and actually be a part of the park.
Right.
Why not?
And I provide a lot of the research, the evidence that this is going to improve your life, reduce your stress, help your kids actually learn, be smarter. And this is particularly crucial now. I mean, we've got a state now that California got through 2 world wars and the Great Depression and never shut a single state park. And now 70 of them, including Mount Palomar, are on the block, on the cutting block. So it's going to be very important for us to not only get more committed to those, but also to create nature all around us.
All right.
So we have the information up there. You're going to be speaking tonight. Remind people once again how they can attend.
Well, it's actually this afternoon at 1:30, and it's at the San Diego Convention Center. It's and I'll be speaking there, and other people will be there. I'll be signing books there too.
Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and talk to these kids down here. You're playing with a couple of things that I know it's kind of important to incorporate things like this at a young age, right, Tiger?
Right, yeah. And Aaron's down here playing with some ladybugs down here, and ladybugs are important to the environment, about the habitat. They're predatory animals, and that's one thing kids don't always know is they see them as beautiful, but they actually serve a big, important part of any kind of landscape.
I know you really like ladybugs. What do you think of them?
I think that you're cute and they like people.
They like you a lot. Do you think they're super cute?
And every time I pick them up, I don't hurt them.
What do you like to do with them?
I like to pick them up.
You do. Do you like pumpkins too?
Yeah, I try to put them on the pumpkin.
Did you make a pumpkin for Halloween?
Yeah.
What were you for Halloween?
The ladybug sometimes go in the pumpkin just to crawl around, then they go down.
Oh, they like the pumpkin, don't they? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being here. It's such an important topic. For more information on this, you can go to our website, san-diego6.com, and you can click on Hot Topics. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're coming right back. San Diego Living after this.